So what is the problem with the current NHIF as it is? One, it has a structural problem that when it was put in place, it was largely to cater for people who are salaried. That it was structured in a manner that you who is on a payroll, you have a pay slip. At the end of every month, there's a deduction from your employer to remit to NHIF. So we came back, there was an amendment then that said it is mandatory for everyone to pay, whether you're on payroll or not on payroll. And remember, we only have about 3 million Kenyans on payroll. About 2.5 million households are on payroll. The rest are not. So how do we ensure that the remaining 10 million households of Kenyans are covered? How do we ensure that we are able to take care of their health? How do we ensure that they are able even to pay? Because not paying on payroll doesn't mean that you necessarily don't have an income. We have people who are not on payroll, yes, but they do businesses, they have an income. They are entrepreneurs, they have an income. We have mama mbogas, they have an income. So what we have done in this, now the social health insurance fund, is to ensure that then we are able to identify, first of all, each and every Kenyan. Number two, we are able to know or to identify what is your level of earning, what is your income. Number three, then we are able to have an equity ratio in terms of how much then you are expected to pay towards your health care. And number four, that we want to bring everyone on fold, that those who can't pay, who have no capacity or ability to pay, the vulnerable that we have, the disabled that we have, the very old that we have within the society, but we have a huge number of people who are able to pay. Then we put together resources so that then we can take care of those who are not able to pay. So that is one of the shifts in the social health insurance fund. The other shift, which you have heard from the people who have spoken, that NHIF did not cover at 100%. For example, the patients on cancer, there's what is called the blood works, which is very important. Before you start any treatment, we must first check what is it that will work for you. That is not covered. Other checks like CT scans, there are some CT scans that you will be covered for, others will not be covered. If you will require your treatment for a long time, you will reach a level where NHIF does not cover beyond that. So there are limits. What we are doing in the new law is that then there are no limits. If you have cancer, you have cancer. You'll go through the primary level, go to the secondary level, where then your social insurance kicks in. But if you require treatment beyond the secondary level, then you go to the tertiary level, which is where now you'll be covered by the critical emergency and chronic illness fund. That means that your disease is covered from the beginning to the end. There's another change, that under NHIF, we have congenital conditions that ordinarily are not covered, even with private insurances. Many of them, you will see them ask you to fill a form so that you disclose what other conditions that you may have. Some may be congenital. That is the way you are born with a certain condition. They are not covered. But you're saying these are Kenyans, you see? The children did not apply to be born with a certain illness. So now we have a package which will take care even for congenital illnesses. Screening, that is prevention. Right. The current NHIF doesn't cover that. That if you say, okay, I'm not sick, but I need to be checked whether I'm okay or not, NHIF will not cover. But under a social health authority, now we are covering for screening, we are covering for wellness, so that people can check themselves and just ensure that you are living healthy. Yeah.
Right.